Oh wait, this fucking cunting shithole cunt fuckhole is fucking live. Fuck. Don't even know if I want to do this now. What's that? Yes, I fucking know you're there. I'm in an exceptionally bad mood.
Understandable, man. Done the same fucking thing myself. Threw the fucking thing through a window at uni.
Yeah.
Got in trouble for it too. Wasn't mine.
Yeah, imagine so. Fucking cunt balls. I'm in such a cunt of a mood now. There's no one in the chat.
Well, fucking probably not a bad thing. Gives you 5 minutes to fucking breathe. What was it? Just a tip over?
Sorry?
Just a tip over?
This, I can't fucking stop dropping things. This, I've refilled it. The orange juice, it was this fucking full. And on a desk, and of course it was on the computer, and I was worried about the computer.
Crunch everywhere.
And
it happens so fucking fast.
I keep fucking dropping things, and I'm in a really bad fucking mood. Hey, it might improve. Trying not to fucking lose my shit at the moment. Okay. And not to misdirect my frustration, and it will go away. I need to put the laptop higher. Let's see what happens when I try that. Oh, why don't I put this fucking shithole fucking drink a long fucking way away? So I can't drop it and knock it over. Because I cannot fucking stop doing that. Ugh. Right. Now if I move this box over here and put that laptop there. Oh, that looks insecure as fuck. What are you doing, you stupid bastard? Trying to make something go wrong again. And that's a fucking terrible idea.
You know what fucking shits me?
What?
Is that every time you do something shitty, it's still much better than my good. I hate that. I fucking hate that. It really shits me.
God, now, why is that on such an angle? That doesn't make any sense, but I honestly don't care. And now, things I have to do.
Hi, Mega Leech. Hi, Catherine Hall. Hi, Alternative Adele. Hi, Safa. Hi, Catherine Hall. Hi, Mega Leech. Hi, mates.
Right. So, and
I got in first, as you saying.
Good job, buddy. Good job. I need to adjust because I'm weird colors. Because I have different lighting than what I had last night.
Kind of a bit sexy moody, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're kind of a bit noir. You're kind of a little bit, you know.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
What?
What do I want to do? I actually just want to change the white balance, don't I? Because I'm too blue. It's a gill, it's a cruel. Where are we? If I moved blue, there you go. Look, I've got actual flesh tones now.
Oh, I like you when you're noir. But anyway, no, I like your flesh too, because that reminds me of that nightclub we were in Berlin, and then we went into the. Oh, I should not talk about that anymore, should I? Because you warned me about that.
Yeah. I'm just God, these oh, there you go. See, I can go super noir.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. What can you do to me? What can you do to me?
Nothing. Everything's controlled at your end. So
isn't? I'm gonna find it.
Oh God,
no, there's nothing.
No. Okay.
No. No. Having issues. That's all I get to do is have issues.
So, what'll I do? I might move that to there. I might move that to there. My big sexy ball of a microphone.
Jeez, that changes your voice when you move that around.
Does it? Does it really?
For a moment there, you were very cricket commentator. You know what I'm saying? You're very and Joel Garner has bowled a fast one. right through the testicles of Marsh, who like an Australian baggy green.
All right.
Batsman
Right.
is facing another one, bowled for 6, but has lost too much blood and retired hurt.
Well, everyone in the house is just staying away from me because when I knocked the drink over and I've just been screaming, "Cunt! Fucking cunt! You filthy fucking shit! Fuck!"
I have never, ever seen you go off like that. Oh, fuck. Sometimes I can't even fucking lie to myself.
No.
I know I'm pretty good at lying to myself. No, I'm not an addict. Yeah, fuck, seeing angry go off properly. Because, okay, gents, ladies, folks, right? I've come real close because I'm conspiratorial, right?
You're sharing something secret.
Oftentimes when Angry's being angry on camera, he's putting it on, right? It's character, right? He's not as angry as he appears. But when he really goes off, fuck me, that's the sign. And it's over the oddest things. It can be over a duck.
Ducks know what they did.
Yeah, I know. It can be and it's usually people. It's usually people doing foolish things. He wouldn't say foolish, and he would back it up with evidence and commentary. It's the commentary that makes me worry that we're going to get our fucking heads kicked in, because it's usually public and fucking loud. But yeah, watching this guy go fucking nuts is really it's an education. My old man was a plumber, so I brought up on a job site. I can swear in 14 different languages. Angry makes up new ones to swear in. It's
Why to do?
It's a thing to see. It's a thing to see. So when he says everyone's fucking avoiding him because he fucking lost it, which I would have too. If I'd have spilled a drink on my computer, I would have shat myself for a start, because I don't have a computer, and B, I don't know how to make that better.
People worried about the drink. It was an orange. That's the other thing. It was an orange juice, so it's like fucking sticky. So after soaking it all up, then I had to get a wet cloth and wipe everything down with to wet it with water. So that hopefully stops the surfaces from being sticky. Because I won't be popular if I've made this desk sticky. Deep sigh. So this isn't on Facebook tonight because it was scheduled, and Facebook does this thing where if you delay a schedule by 10 minutes, it just stops you from doing it at all. And
does it? Thanks, Facebook.
So StreamYard tells me, and yes, my little fucking disaster delayed me by almost exactly 10 minutes. So yo.
And you know what the retarded thing was almost on time.
Right. Yeah, you were.
I was on time.
I think you could just see because my webcam was at like a pointing at the floor at a 45-degree angle because everything was everywhere, and he's waiting patiently for 10 minutes for me to get my shit together.
But also too, I was offering helpful. Jesus Christ, I hope they were helpful. Things about what I was seeing from my end. As in, well, this is what's happening here, and this is what I'm seeing, and this is what I'm seeing and hearing. And then I heard one of Angry's interesting commentaries about life, and what I put diplomatically was, sound is coming through very clearly. Didn't say, "Ooh, boss has lost it."
So very much.
Were you working from home today?
I've been working home for about a week now.
Okay. I had 2 doctor's appointments today.
Yeah.
They were both phone-ins. And I thought this is going to be great because there's going to be no delay because the phone is going to be quick, right? Because, you ring him up, you're there, you talk to him, fuck off. And I thought, I'll get on the camera phone. We'll tour it. It'll be great. I often wait in these specialist offices for an hour and a half for my appointment.
Yeah.
So I was fucking stoked. I'd organised my day around these fucking things, and I was going to do a lot of shit. It was going to be great. Tonight was going to be the christening of the new beauty because I was going to have it all set up.
Yeah.
I waited an hour and a half each for these fucking appointments to happen. It was like fucking being there. It was like the waiting room was my house. And I was going, because you can't start anything. I had 15 minutes of washing up to do, right? Nothing.
Yeah.
You can't start anything in case the fucking phone rings and you got to get the gloves off and open it. And geez. And fucking, so I'm sitting there going, do. I could ring up angry and do nothing because I'd have to have the phone free. I could go and do my Centrelink and do nothing because then I'd have to get the phone free. Got to the point where I had to ring up outpatients and go, are we on? And and they said, yes, everyone's on. We're very busy. Can you go? Because I was waiting for them to call, for them to pick up for an hour. Didn't matter because I got the little thing. If they'd have rung in, I could have gone blip blip and picked up, right? Easy. Fucking our health system is not coping. It'll get its shit together, and this process will be easier. And I actually believe that at the end of this Mask of the Red Death, we're going to have a system where we're going to get a lot more phone-in consultation with camera phones, because everyone's got a camera phone now. Everyone, right? If the hospital doctors can camera phone their patients, then they don't have to ambulance them in from the nursing homes. They don't have to make sure they're there for an appointment. If they don't know they've got an appointment, they can just ring them up and say, "You've got an appointment." "Oh, do I?" "Yes." "How are you?" "Well, I'm good." "Where are you?" "I'm at the pub." "Okay, you can chat to me for 5 minutes at the pub." You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. And if they haven't had their tests, you can ring up and say, "Go get your test, and I'll ring you next week." It'll be quick. I reckon that's the way it's going to happen. I reckon more and more, because it'll be so cheap and so quick that once they get their shit together, that's how we'll do it. And there'll be jobs in hospitals for organising people to be in line on the phone. You'll get a phone call from Jenny. "Hi, I'm Jenny from the hospital. You've got an appointment with Dr. Very Rich in about 5 minutes. He'll be ready. How are you feeling? Have you had your appointments?" "I see. So you're a useless cunt then. What we're going to come round to your place is put a burning swastika on your window with Uden under it, unless you can get us your blood results." "You can get us your blood results." "That's great. Thanks. Your GP's been very good like that. Make sure your GP's good like that in the future. Earlier. Okay. Remember, my name's Jenny, and I'll be calling again every week." So I reckon it'll go like that, and it'll be fucking good. I reckon it'll be quicker. I reckon it'll be good. How healthy am I? It's a secret. How healthy do you think I am, Angry?
Not great.
Oh, fuck. You knew.
Yeah.
You knew.
I've just fucked with my camera really badly, but
Well, it's working sometimes.
Well, yes, yeah, no, it's. God, what have I done? I clicked one thing and I fucked everything.
Gecko Centrelink is the Australian welfare system. It is a government. It's a government department that deals with unemployment. It deals with disablement. It deals with pensions. It deals with any benefit that the government hands out to citizens. Is done through the Centrelink office. or Centrelink. Is it its own? And it's an office, yeah. And it was set up as a cheapening of the two government departments, one that was set up to get you a job and the other one that was set up to hand out money. And they become really quite large, and the right-wing government came in and said, "Oh, this is way too expensive. We're going to make it cheaper," and they put everything into the one department and made the getting of a job into private companies' hands. They are 1.4% as effective as the government department that they killed is. They cost 3,000% more than both government departments combined. The new government department is 15% as efficient as the old one. It's been a clusterfuck all round, but it's so entrenched now that they can't get rid of it. But there has been actual talk of them getting rid of the privatised job getting, because it's become such an expensive scam that the Australian voter is going, "I'm not paying for this anymore."
Yeah.
What we've got is a large population of baby boomers who have always had jobs and money, and their children now are coming out of education with no prospects of jobs or money at all, and are being shouted at by their parents, "Get a job, get money."
Yeah.
The baby boomers are now also coming out of their primary job and getting back into the workforce and finding it ain't going to happen. And they're starting to go, "Well, where's my job? I deserve a job. I'm a baby boomer. I everything comes to me, and then give me your money." Which is, the sentences they know. So they're going to these private job finding places, Gecko, that were set up in their name because they demanded it, and they're finding that these private job finding places are a fucking rort. They get money for seeing you. They get money for getting you a job. They take commission on your pay when you get a job. Now, here's the other kicker. If you get a job on your own, but you're on their books, they take a commission on your pay, and they claim that they got you the job when they had nothing to do with it. And if you say to them, "You had nothing to do with this," they scream and yell and can have you fined, breached, and have your pay cut anyway. And that's the bit that the baby boomers who are getting back in the market are spewing over and finding their children having to deal with. And they're finding their children that they've been screaming at for the last 10 years, "Get a job, you lazy cunt." Are finding, because they're not there. The numbers are simple. There's like 1.8 million people looking for work, and there's something like 750 jobs, 750,000 jobs.
Yeah. The other fun thing they do, exactly, is that if you get a job on your own, they claim credit for it. But if they can't get you a job, if they fail on their one job, they say it's your fault.
Your fault.
Payment.
And
So
they cut you off.
if they fail in their role, they say it's your fault, and you get punished for their failure, and they still get paid taxpayer money to fail and blame you. So
that's right.
But on the plus side, they do donate a lot of money to Liberal Party re-election campaigns. So
they do. They really do.
Thing explains why they still exist. The bar.
Bloody. There is, however, a nice little thing that the unemployed have worked out how to do recently.
Oh yeah.
First thing you do is you take a small tape recorder with you, a pocket-held tape recorder with you, and record absolutely everything, because they will threaten you several times during the meeting and say they're going to breach you over things that you haven't even done. They will absolutely say, "We're going to make up something to breach you if you don't do what we say," because they're not allowed to make you go to another lovely scam they have called Work for the Dole.
Grave,
So
like, class warfare.
fucking you get this this dole payment for not being able to find a job. But then they brought on this work for the dole so
Yeah.
that you could pay back to society,
Yeah.
the money that they're giving you. But hang on a fucking minute. If they can find work for you for the dole, why can't they find work for you for a job?
Yes.
What
Yeah.
happened there? What
Yeah.
happened there? Because the dole is fuck all cash.
Yeah.
Minimum wage is about 1 1/3 plus benefits above
Yeah.
the dole. That's minimum wage.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden there's all these fucking jobs found for these
Mm.
unemployed, and everyone's going, hang on, where were these fucking jobs before? And then
Yeah.
you find out the employer gets fucking paid for taking on the dolies.
Yeah.
Um, the jobs that the employer wants done
Mm.
are, resource funded by the
Yeah.
government. So, okay, I'm putting together bits of computers. Yeah. If I need parts, the government buys my parts for me, gives me my slaves, fucking gives me a subsidy for taking on the slaves,
Yeah.
and gives me a tax break on the product that I sell for taking. These fucking companies are screaming for their dolies. When
Yeah.
they miss out on their allotment of dolies, some of them shut their fucking doors for 2-3 months because
Yeah.
it's part of their fucking business plan to take on slaves. So
Yeah.
Gecko Centrelink is a loved department of
Yeah.
Australia. It's also called the Trainee Artists Fund. Um, uh, Basically, it's the welfare department, and
Yeah.
it's enormous and nasty. Oh Christ, they've got some nasty tricks. One of the things that people miss out about Australia is that they think because we've got the attitude of the welfare state, it's
Mm.
socialism. No, 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 no. They don't do it because they're nice guys. They do it to prop up local economies. You got a whole bunch of poor people who have to spend 100% of everything they get on local product. Okay, half of what they get goes on rent. Who's owns rental properties? Yes, them. They're
Mm.
getting the money. All these people screaming, "Oh, the dollies are fucked." They're the same people who are getting fucking rent from the dollies. Okay, so let's not fucking scream and yell too loud.
Yeah.
Just now, the Australian government has said we are giving all of our dollies this massive pay increase.
Yeah.
Massive pay increase.
Yeah.
And they've gone, oh, that's to protect them during this time of crisis.
Mm.
No, it's to give themselves a fucking nice, tidy little fucking economic stimulus at the end of the process, while keeping um, local middle business propped up. Small
Mm.
business are all being told to shut their doors. They're all being told lock up
Mm.
and fuck off. You're socially distancing, so you're all shutting down, and you're all going. And a lot of people have been asking, how am I going to get stuff? Today I was at a store that said, you'll be right, because what we are going to do is we're going to wait for your order on the internet, and we will physically come to your door
Yeah.
and give you product.
Yeah.
And I went, good on you, man.
That's
Um,
pretty good.
and
Yeah.
yeah, so but small businesses are basically being told, oh no, we'll take care of your rent.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. They're being loaned their rent. At the end of the year, they're going to have to pay it back.
Yeah.
A lot of small businesses don't know that, but they
Yeah.
better work it out in a big fucking hurry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Gecko, that's
Deferred
what.
debt is not a solution as such. There's been a story. I want him to actually finish it in the text, and I'm going to read it out for people who might not see it. But it's basically, he found a bunch of medical equipment. They live in an apartment complex. The apartment threw a bunch of medical equipment out a few weeks ago, obviously before the epidemic kicked in, so it's not as easy. So he notices it's driving by. Looks like there's a lift, like an engine hoist. He parks his car, looks in the dumpster. There's a ventilator in there, along with a medical bed and other apparatus. He jumps in, gets the medical stuff out of the dumpster, and wheels it over to his apartment. So he's got a ventilator, a vacuum type pump, a lift, a pressure pump, like an aquarium bubbler. Left the bed frame in the dumpster because it was missing side trails. That's just like this massive, weird haul of stuff. I'm loving that as
A lot of
story.
there's a lot of dodgy, weird. I know, right?
Mm.
Gecko, was this in Melbourne?
No, Gecko's in America, I think.
Oh, okay. I do happen. I can't speak for America, but I know in Melbourne there's in these large condo blocks that we have in a place called Docklands, which is weird town.
Yes.
Very weird, very large, very rich, very soulless. A lot of these buildings have backyard plastic surgery places in them and backyard dock shops in them. And every day the dumpsters are full of fucking medical waste because people go in for cheap plastic surgery, as you do.
A weird bit of folklore right there. Yes.
Mm.
Here's some really weird ones in America. Notably, and this seems to be a thing that happens in Florida. America's Wang, so we don't want. But women getting busted, because there's a certain cultural biases to big butts in various groups in America, and these women will offer a service where they'll inject something into a woman's butt to make it bigger and rounder. And this is something I've heard repeatedly. It's happened multiple times. They said that someone has injected cement into the woman's butt. Now, one of those cultural things, I don't know literally what they mean. I don't think they mean concrete, because Americans often refer to glue as cement.
It's cement. What they're talking about is acrylic acid. We would call it super glue.
Yeah.
And that's what they're injecting in is super glue. But the trouble with this stuff, and the reason they're injecting it in, is it goes hard very quickly, and you can shape it, and it stays hard. Trouble is, it's toxic as fuck, and it doesn't go hard all the way in the middle. If it breaks and leaks, you've got problems. Also, what they'll do is they'll put cement in and then inject it with saline. If that saline bursts, you've got all kinds of problems coming on. Yeah. Remember, you sit on your ass every day.
And that's what happens. Things go wrong. Infections, necrotizing flesh. I think there have been some deaths, but it's just like it's a really sort of special frame of mind to say, I think I'll get this backyard cosmetic surgeon to do things to me and inject things into me. It's wowzers. Oh wow. Sorry, the roundup of Gecko's story, he actually got the ventilator to work, modern touchscreeny deal, powered up, but there were stickers, they were from a rental company, and he called them and says, I hear the equipment rental company is super pissed off about it, getting all legal on the property management's ass. So someone has rented. So I assume there was a sick person in the apartment complex, and equipment's been rented for them, and they probably died. And someone's just dumped the equipment, which is obviously not inexpensive equipment. And Gecko's managed to salvage some of it,
I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. An elderly person in a flat needs all this medical equipment. Nature happens. The real estate company comes in and says, "Well, we've got to relet the flat. Fucking, there is no surviving relative to clean up. Chuck everything in a day.
Yeah,
clean up, re-rent. They don't give a fuck about who's renting it."
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gecko
mm,
confirmed the person who was using it died, and the apartment management just threw all the equipment out. They didn't give a shit. They just cleaned out the apartment. You know, here's a
happened.
weird thing that made pop into my head. Like when we went to college in a country town, we'd often get stuff from Goodwill stores, the Salvation Army. You know, Camo had this story. He got a bed mattress, and he said it was really cheap because someone obviously cut their throat on it. I was like, "What?" He goes, "No,
Yep.
no, I was in there, and it was just there, and it had this huge dark brown stain on it." And this little old lady in the shop goes, "Oh, someone spilled something on it," and it was just
And
like
he's gone, no.
and he goes, and he said it had actually soaked through. If you turned the mattress over, some of it had come all the way through the mattress and soaked on the other side. And like a normal human would be fuck no and run away, but our mate Camo thought this was hilarious and
bought it.
wanted to sleep on the throat cut bed.
I've not seen it, but I've seen a photograph of it because when I heard the story, I said, "Is that a real thing?" And he went, "Yeah, it's a real thing. I slept on it for years." And then when I got a partner, we got a new bed because she wasn't into it.
Not got
Who knew?
sleep on the
Who
throat
knew?
cutting bed. Yeah.
Anyway, I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, I got a photo," and he showed me a photo, and I went, and as soon as I looked at it, I went, "Someone has cut their fucking throat on that
Yeah.
bed." That is really, you can see obvious splash pattern. Obviously where they thrashed a bit and then where they settled, and it was like, oh my god! And this guy is that guy. He is that guy.
But that's the thing with the country, weird shit happens. Like, there's not as much violence and there's not as much murders in the country, but when shit
when
happens,
they happen, they
it's really
really happen. Yeah.
like
There's one girl in that
Mhm.
same city, in that country town,
Yeah.
who found her sister in bed with her boyfriend, and they
Yeah.
woke up on fire. She burnt down the house while they were in it, asleep. She got out apparently, badly burned, but she got out. He didn't. She's in jail.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the thing is, when I heard this story, I just went, "That's a lot," because it happened when I was there. So I said, "That's a lot," and the townies, the locals who told me, said, "Oh no, that happened 7 years ago. The Shirley girls did that, and there was another one over in Orange year before that was," and they're just rattling them off. Apparently, don't fuck your sister's boyfriend because you'll wake up on fire.
Yeah. Bit of that action. I mean, say it was. I grew up in another country town, Dubbo, which is further west from Bathurst, where we went to college. And I remember a mate whose dad was a cop, and he was one of the highest-ranking cops in the area. And this guy, he was a football player at school, and everyone knows football players. We're big men, they're big busts, even though they're only between 16 and 18. They're like, I'm a tough guy. I'm not getting, and I forget how it got onto it, but they'd been acting. Him and some of his mates were at his house, and I know they'd been acting a bit tough. We're men. We get. And the dad, who's the copper, just goes, "Are you big tough men? Not scared of, not squeamish?" And they're and he did something which I'm sure is completely illegal. He had an album of forensic photos from various crime scenes and whatnot.
I've
He started
seen these.
showing it to them, and it was it was throat cutting. It was, one of them was a dude who'd put a shotgun in his mouth in a hotel room and sprayed it all over the wall behind it. And it was, and car accidents, and he said about halfway through the books, the footy players all started getting a bit peaky and sweaty. And he's like, "You guys okay?" And they go, "Is it hot in here? It feels hot in here. I think I want to go outside. It's too hot in here." And
my friend, who shall remain nameless, him and his mates, who shall remain nameless, play a game where they take their books out, because they've all got their personal books, and the police have a magazine which comes out, which is not pretty either. And they get the big tough guy, and they see how long it takes for him to blow chunks. And when they did it to me, they said, "Oh, I want to show you some forensics." I said, "Oh, lads, I'm fucking very squeamish. I'm not very good with this shit, really. Guys, I'm going to blow chunks." They hadn't opened them, right?
Yeah.
I said, "I'm going to
So you
blow
know what-
chunks straight
Yeah.
away." And so they opened the book and I went, "Wow, that's what happens when you blow your head off with a shotgun, because you can see like teeth. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
imagined that." And then
Yeah.
I've started to go, "Oh, I see. So the slice goes that way and the flap goes." And they're looking at me going, "Who's this freak?" And they're looking at my friend going, "You know him. You brought him. You brought him."
Yeah.
And they all started asking me all kinds of personal questions about where I went and
Yeah.
what my mother's maiden name was, and I'm just answering innocently, and I'm going, "This is odd," asking me a lot of questions, and I realised later they were getting a fucking dossier on me because they thought they might have to fucking arrest me. I'm a good guy.
Bodies in your basement.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy. I don't do bad
Yeah.
things.
Well, that was the other thing. Camo and Kaz, who called themselves the Sick Brothers after a while. This is the pre-internet days, because this is how old we are. For amusement, they'd go to the State Library in Sydney, get into the medical textbooks, and it was the forensic textbooks, and also the people dying of various diseases being eaten away by, and they just like laugh and try and outgross each other. Look, this is what happens when tertiary syphilis isn't treated. Oh wow! Do you want to see an actual leper with half his face missing? It's just
and these motherfuckers would bring photocopies back to Bathurst of this shit. And like I said, these. Remember, I told you, these police fucking forensics files, were bothersome, but they weren't horrible, terrible to me. It's because I'd seen the Six Brothers books. The Six Brothers books will hurt you. They will hurt you, not in the mind, but in the soul. In the soul. Exactly. A part of you dies when you see the Six Brothers books.
I noticed a few in the chat. Annette worked for Homicide in Sydney in the 90s, so that would have been pretty fucking colourful.
Special times in Sydney in the 90s was special times.
Yeah, and Dottie was training to be a nurse, so they had special slideshows to desensitize the nurses.
They had
and
to.
Nurses have to put up with some shit. I used to live. I had a girlfriend.
I seen a fucking wonderful thing the last time I was in hospital. For more than a few days. I was in there with the broken stuff.
Oh, were you
guys?
Yes.
Yeah. Guys come in, and he's been on the opioids for a long time for broken bones, and of course he's not used to the opioids, so he is constipated as fuck. He hasn't had a shit for 3 weeks. And they've said, "Well, we've got to try something because you're not looking real good." And he's pushing. He goes, "Oh, it hurts a lot. No, I can't. And the doctors have had a quick look in there, and they've had a chat, and they've gone, "We're going to do a force push." And I'm thinking, is that where you get Yoda in?
I was about to say
and he said, no. That's what happens is we get a special apparatus, and as soon as I use the word apparatus, you go, ooh. You get a special apparatus, and we force water into your intestine, which will open everything up, and the muscles will push everything out. It will be very, very quick. It will hurt, but it will be very, very quick, right? And I'm going, this is doctors and nurses saying it will hurt. Fuck, that's bad. That's bad. I had broken ribs and a broken fucking collarbone, and and a broken rib at the back, and they kept on calling me discomfort. Okay, are we getting a picture? Broken bones is discomfort. This guy was going to hurt, and so everyone else in the ward's going, "Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god." And so they've set him up. Unfortunately, the curtains were open because there was a lot of people around. They've set the machine up, and they've gone, "Okay, ready, and 1, 2," and they've hit the button, and he's just screamed, and then they've gone, and it's finished, it's done, and it was literally that fast. It was like half a second done. And then one of the nurses has gone, "Oh, there's a bit of bleeding. We're confident it'll stop soon. It's probably just a tear.
Oh,
Oh no, I see the guy across from me, and we've just gone, oh, a tear. Oh
oh,
God.
not
But
good.
he was going, oh God, that's the most painful thing ever. But thank you so much. And it was a tear. They fixed it up. But he felt so much better afterwards.
Yeah.
And they took this bucket away. Grossest one was a dude in Russia who had created an invention to reheat his bathwater to keep it nice and toasty. Guy had a heart.
Had a heart attack.
No!
For 6 weeks.
Oh, I can imagine. What would that be like? Coming into that room. Oh, it'd be like what do they call it? A slow cooker.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Christopher Lee, the actor who said to Peter Jackson, "That's not the sound a guy getting stabbed in the back makes."
Yeah. Because
That's fantastic.
Christopher Lee worked as a spy in the Second World War, and so he killed motherfuckers, and that's something he was known to have said. Doesn't sound like that if you break someone's neck. That's not the noise someone makes when you slip a knife into. And he's not saying it, he's just saying it doesn't work like that.
No, it's not how it sounds. That's not the way it works. Do you know? Because everyone says, fucking, there's no such thing as fucking Misto Crypto, fucking Sixth Sense. That's all bullshit.
Yeah.
The SAS and the Spetsnaz are trained. If you are sneaking up behind a guy to stab him, do not look at him in the back of the head or the shoulders. You look at the back of his knees. Because if you look at the back of his head or his shoulders, he'll turn around. Because you can always tell when someone's looking at you from behind. Fucking, they still teach the SAS to not do that to this day. And they swear by it. They say, if you look at someone in the back of the fucking head, they're going to shoot you. As an apprentice, Sparky, we were shown a workplace accident 30 years later. Those images just, one flash in your ash, buddy.
Yeah.
3-phase, not a special thing to be near.
Yeah.
I fucking always respected 3-phase. I didn't want to go near it. I didn't want to piss on it. What?
I still remember because recently, flicking through channels and Jurassic Park, the original one, was on, and there's a bit where they're climbing over an electric fence which switches back on, and this kid's still on it, and he gets thrown off the fence, and Sam Neill resuscitates him. I still remember when the movie was new, there was like this kids magazine feature about the movie and what's true and what isn't in it. And one of them, and this was in a kids magazine, could you really get resuscitated if you're on a fence like that? And the electricity came back on, and the answer was just nope, you'd be fried. There ain't no resuscitating someone when everything's cooked.
No, not like that. Well, this is the bizarre part is, and this is the bit that always freaked me out, was they said the thing that kills you when you get electrocuted is when the electricity passes through your heart or through your brain, okay, or through your spine to fuck up your electricals. But if it passes through your heart, it'll fuck your electrical system right up, put you into defibrillation. Your heart won't go, your brain won't go to oxygen, you will die. And if you only get electricity, say, through your arm to your elbow, say fingers to elbow, you'll get injured, but all that will happen you will burn from the inside. Your bone will burn.
Yeah, so you'll lose the limb.
Ow!
Yeah.
Fucking ow!
But
Jesus,
only for a moment, because it'll burn all the nerves out. There'll be a few moments of the worst pain you can possibly imagine, and then you won't feel anything again because it will have destroyed all the nerves. Just those few moments of the worst pain you could possibly imagine.
But I mean, they've said that people have died of shock, getting to help. People have died of shock because you effectively you your arm's dead on the inside and
Yeah.
slowly dying from the inside out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I know what that's like. It's not good. And yeah, our fuck. But you know, you think about this, and you go, we let electricity into our house all
Yeah.
the time, like it ain't no big thing. And
Yeah.
I remember my brother, the plumber, said, "Mate, if people knew what gas does to their house, no one would have it." The number of times we go back to houses that are just sticks after the
Yeah.
gas plumbers have been there and fucked up,
Yeah.
and they clad it, and then the gas comes through,
Yeah.
anything sparks, boom, house just fucking flies apart. And then they've got to rebuild the house because there's a slab just sitting there and a whole bunch of sticks
Yeah.
on it and a roof that's collapsed on it. You know, we let so much dangerous shit into the house
Yeah.
just to
Yeah.
have
It's for
a
convenience.
comfortable existence.
Yeah.
And
Just for
people
convenience.
tell me these days the most dangerous thing in their house is their fucking computer. And I'm going, what? Fuck off. And they say, well, it's got a microphone and a camera on it, mate, and you do your banking. Oh, shit. Righto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose. Not me, though. I'm not a very high security risk.
That's all right.
Shame that. One day I will be. One day I will be.
Gecko and Raiders is talking about having a circuit breaker on your chest if you're working with electrics. I assume it's something that actually disrupts a surge. Okay.
A lot of
No, Gecko says there's a big scary spring in the circuit breaker to make the electrical contact, and that's a three-phase, 3,000 amp, 480 volt breaker. That's almost a cure as bad as the disease scenario.
yeah,
Sounds really freaky.
but you want one of them. I mean, I've seen electricians put on chainmail suits to go into generator rooms. We were doing a lab, a high security gas and diseases lab in an unnamed city called Canberra, and effectively they had to have an uninterruptible power supply.
Yes.
And this uninterruptible power supply had to be on 6 different levels.
Yeah.
Which bothered the shit out of me. That bothered me. That they had one in the basement, one in the sub-basement, one in the sub-basement, one on the 3rd floor, one on the 4th floor, and one on the roof. Okay? So if any one of those floors got knocked out, or if 5 of them got knocked out, and also each one had multiple generators. Okay? So you'd virtually have to destroy the entire fucking building to get every generator. So you have to cut the power to the building, which is all underground. All power in Australia is overground. It's all overhead. The reason for that is that we have a lot of disasters and you've got to be able to fix it. You've got to be able to get to it and put the wire back together. This power is underground, so you can't cut it. Fuck. And why do you want to cut power to this lab? And if you do, it's got these probably 1630 generators. I didn't see them all. They wouldn't let me on all the floors.
Right. Secret floors.
Secret floors. And all the plumbing is glass. All the pipe is glass.
Right.
Every last pipe is glass because what they pour down the drain can't melt through the plumbing.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Wow. Okay.
And you've also got to be able to see blockages before you disturb them, because you might not want to disturb the blockages. You might just want to freeze them with nitrogen, cut the pipe, and throw the pipe into the incinerator in the building. I've helped make the incinerator in the building. The incinerator in the building is terrifying. It uses more gas than Canberra Hospital. It burns some. It's a high end incinerator. If you want some shit burned in a big hurry, and to not come back, you stick it in this incinerator and turn the gas up. So yeah, these generators had to be serviced every now and again. And I've seen this guy go downstairs.
Yeah.
Because the place worked on temperature fluctuations as well. They pumped liquid nitrogen around the walls. This meant that sometimes gases would settle in the basement, and there'd be oxygen, but there'd be high humidity. And so they whack on this chainmail because they're working with a 3-phase, and if they touch the 3-phase and it arcs, it'll arc outside their body, not through their body. And I was there being freaked out because the other thing that was happening when we were working on the lab is we had 2 guys in suits follow us wherever we went all the time. And it's unsettling, and I think it's supposed to be. Anyway, so we're there, and we hear this fucking zap, and it's an unmistakable sound. It's a zap, crack. We're going, fuck. And we heard this guy go, fuck, ow, fuck. And he's come up there out of the basement, and we've like dropped it, and he's come on going, ow, fuck, ow, fuck. And other Sparkies have come, you're right, I got a fucking flash, I got a hit. How's your eyes? Oh, they're fine. Had my goggles on. And he had black on his face. And then they've taken his chainmail off, and he's got fucking like dendrite lines on his skin. Where it's the electricity's hit, arced and burned him, and he's got these little dendrite tattoos all over his fucking body because he's been doing this for years. They fade over time, but they take like 5 or 6 years to fade, and then you get a new one. And then there they are, and it's like, what the fuck is that? I was like, they're fucking lightning tattoos, and apparently, if you get hit by lightning, you get dendrite tattoos as well.
Yeah, I have seen people with those from lightning strikes. Yeah, pretty wild stuff.
Whilst I just thought, this is why these guys are paid this much money. I don't want to do it anymore.
Bobo's got a fun one. His stepdad used to run a fencing business. Got his hand caught between a post and a post driver. But lucky only lost half his ring finger, and asked if they could have reattached it, but apparently there was nothing to reattach. It was just gone.
Just mush. Yeah.
My brother, actually, I think he was just in a shed somewhere, like at a shearing place, and he fell, not from a huge height, but he did the flailing thing as he fell, and he's wearing a wedding ring, and it caught on a nail that was sticking out somewhere, and it degloved that finger. Just gone. The bone apparently was still there. It just ripped off. So of course they cut the bone off, and so now
the first thing they tell tradies as apprentices: have you got jewelry on? Take it off.
Take it off.
But I like no. If you, I'm newly married. Good. Be newly married at home. Don't be newly married at work. And so it's funny watching all these tradies take out their nose rings and earrings and lip rings, and fucking their rings come off, and they go in a little bag in the glove box of the car. So if you want to rip off a tradie, glove box of the car. However, usually the dog and the other tradies will kill you first. Fucking fucking injuries that I've seen tradies fucking sustain are just sensational. And the one guy, I just couldn't fucking believe it happened. So we were there, and it was Smoko, and he was using a explosive nail gun. to put
Okay, sure.
battens into the slab because the it was slab, which was also ceiling slab. Slab, slabs were this thick. The pipes were through them, and the ceiling was nailed onto wood, which was explosively nailed into the concrete. So he was the guy doing this, and his guns. He had 4 guns on him, and he had 4 guns on him because it was easier to carry enough ammunition, nails, and 4 guns than to have to get down the ladder and do everything and then back up the ladder. And so he would just boom, 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 and do a ceiling and then reload and do another one. Anyway, one of his guns had warped, and so he was twisting it back, twisting it back, twisting it back, and he fuck. And to this day, I don't know. I don't understand what happened logically in his head, and he was twisting it. And the way these things work is they won't fire unless they're pushed up against a surface to nail into. And he's jiggered his the contact plate and pushed it against his bloody hand, and fucking he's dropped the gun. The bloody triggers hit. The nail's gone right into his hand and nailed his hand to the wall that he was next to. And he's going, oh shit. So his his middle finger is nailed to the wall. We're all having smoke out. Fucking 2 of the Croat painters went, ugh. And their contribution was to move because they didn't want to have Smoko next to a guy bleeding.
Yeah. No, they're pretty much like that. I had 2 brothers work in construction. They had a guy nail his hand to a wall, and everyone was just looking and went, Barry, you've nailed your hand to the wall. And he's like, I fucking know.
I'm aware of that.
And so he went into shock, and it's just like, I can't really feel it, but fuck all of it.
A couple of the guys went over to get the nail out, and a couple of the other guys went, no, stop, wait. I heard a thing about this, and they've rung up the ambulance and said, do we take the nail out now? And they said, no, fucking don't touch anything. And they went, just keep him calm. Oh, so a couple of beers then. No beers. Just
you don't want to lower his blood pressure.
Don't let him freak out, okay? And he's not freaked out. He just nailed his fucking hand to a wall because he's a dick. Okay, keep on calling him a dick. So the ambulance races over, fireys race over, and they go, righto, beautiful. And they clip the nail from the wall and leave it in his finger, wrap it, and off to the hospital. And they said the danger was if they'd have taken the nail out, they could have damaged enough bone to destroy the finger. But because what they could do in the hospital was put again, liquid nitrogen on it, they could freeze the nail, freeze the skin, pull it out, warm the skin, and let everything heal up after grinding the frozen bits out. Worked a treat. He was back at work in 2 weeks.
Everyone's sharing stories in the chat. David hit a wombat at 80 kilometers an hour on a trail bike. Raiders point out that necklaces and lathes are a bad combo. I remember the warnings at the school woodwork and metalwork thing. Long hair and lathes are a very bad combo. Anything spinning, you don't want anything loose. Even clothes, you get really yelled at if you had loose fitting clothing because catches and just rips your arm right into whatever it is. Do you quite the mischief?
Guy at my school got suspended because he forgot to take his tie off in woodwork. Got suspended from school.
You really don't want that.
They said 2 weeks, you're out, and because the woodwork master was furious. And the kid said it was an honest mistake, and the woodwork master said, "Oh, I know it was an honest mistake because if you'd have done it to be a smart ass, you'd be expelled." We take this very seriously. If you'd seen what happens to kids with tyres and accidents, you'd be, everyone's freaked out.
Caught and your face just smashes into it. Really,
not good.
Even in the genteel arts of fashion, Adele points out she was studying fashion and someone sewed through their finger. Was that with a machine?
I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've fucking seen that when in theatre media. I was in
the prop builders,
for fucking Mountain Madness, and I was helping the seamstresses, and one of the girls was showing one of the boys how to do something, and they jiggered each other's fingers, and she overlocked her middle finger from the nail all the way down to the second joint, and they had to clip the needle off the machine and down the batter's base. Fuck. That's bad. I've seen. I know, Adele, what it's like when people sew their fucking fingers in a machine. Oh Christ, it's bad. It's terrifying to watch.
Adele says it was an industrial sewing machine. She's talking too much and went right over her finger. God damn.
Bang, slam, yeah. It'll teach you to concentrate.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'm actually going to wrap this up early. Well, for two reasons. One, I don't want to burn out if I'm going to do this most nights, if not all nights. And second, I still have a stupid fucking mess to clean up here from when I knocked a full drink over. This holds 500 mils. So, and it was full and it went everywhere. And I did mostly clean it up, but I probably have to do a secondary cleanup before I go to bed. And I need to get that out of my system so I don't go to bed angry. So, yeah. That's a bit of a thing. Oh, sorry. Dottie I want to round off with another gross story from Dottie.
I saw that one.
Calm so they don't die of shock. One of my nursing teachers told us a story of a guy she was sitting with who had a 2x4 through his gut. Doc walked in and said, "Oh my God," and walked straight back out. She calmed the guy down and Doc came in and goes, so what seems to be the truth? It's like the doctor's probably mad at himself for losing it. Like, oh shit! I'm sorry.
The nurses where I was necrotized, where I had the gangrene, were all taught if something was bad to say, "Oh wow." They weren't to say, "Fuck me, Jesus Christ, what the fuck." They were to go, "Oh wow." And depending on how many girls said, "Oh, wow," at once. And I say girls because they would say, "Oh, wow, I'm going to need 2, maybe 3 girls to help me now," in this tone that would go right through the ward. And they would arrive. And seen a guy pull his own urinary catheter out. Don't want to go further into that. The girl who found him said, "Oh, wow, I'm going to need 6 girls to help me right now." And 2 of them were to help the guy across from him get out of shock because he was not a happy camper. I would have done it. Anyway, that's enough for me.
Yeah. So, see, you fine people. I like that we weren't even talking about COVID-19 tonight. We were just talking about other gross stuff. Yay, go
gross
us.
Stuff, yeah.
So look after yourselves, one and all. I hope these little check-ins help and give you a bit of a distraction, because that's the whole idea of giving some interaction. Oh, you missed last night, AIDzee. We went all Brady Bunch, had like 6 people in here at once.
Fantastic.
So we'll have to do that again. I don't know. We might do that tomorrow if you want to join in tomorrow. Oh, actually, you know what I want to do? I'm going to round out now something a little bit different, because when I was looking at what's today, the day of, that we can theme it, and it's apparently Read Tolkien Day. And because you said
Tolkien,
J.R.R.
fucking Tolkien, who fucking tells shit stories. Fuck, I hate Tolkien. It tells 15 pages of names and then a great battle was had.
Yeah.
Fuck you. I'd get my balls cut off if I was Tolkien. Fucking the whole middle book of the fucking eye on the stick was fucking two hobbits go for a walk in a dark village. I mean, what the fuck was that about? You know? Sorry.
All right.
Sorry. I did like The Hobbit though, the book.
Yeah. Well, this is a poem. So, and I'm going to do in a low voice with a thing, and so dramatic reading. So, don't interrupt. It's called, and maybe don't do gross vapey slurping noises while I'm doing it either. Just saying.
Okay, I'll turn my mic off.
All right. So this one is called The Mulips, which he wrote in the 60s. And I'm just going to, this is like a bedtime story to send you off. The shadows where the mulips dwell are dark and wet as ink, and slow and softly rings their bell, as in the slime you sink. You sink into the slime who dare to knock upon their door, while down the grilling gargoyles stare at noisome waters pour. Beside the rotting river strand, the drooping willows weep, and gloomily the gore-crows stand, croaking in their sleep. Over the Murloc Mountains, a long and weary way, in a mouldy valley where the trees are grey, by our dark pool's borders, without wind or tide, moonless and sunless, the mulips hide. The cellars where the mulips sit are deep and dank and cold, with a single sickly candle lit, and there they count their gold. Their walls are wet, their ceilings drip, their feet upon the floor go softly with a squish flap flip as they sidle to the door. They peep out slyly through a crack, their feeling fingers creep, and when they've finished in a sack, your bones they take to keep. Beyond the Murloc Mountains, a long and lonely road, through the spider shadows and the march of toad, and through the woods of hanging trees and gallow weed, you go to find the mulips, and the mulips feed. Good night, children. That's the.
Can I ring you if I can't sleep?
No, the mulips will get you if you misbehave tonight. So, I'm going to go to bed now. So
you're really nice for letting us be on your own device. Thank you. Thank you very much for letting us be there.
I imagine we'll be doing another hangout tomorrow night. I'm hoping to not spill any drinks and fuck things up. We'll see how that goes. We'll take it one day at a time. But I'm going to go to bed and fucking fix some stuff up here. So see all you people later. Bye.
See you.